Hello YouTube, Computer Good 1460 here, and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Fossil Q Hybrid Smartwatch. Now you might be wondering, what is a hybrid smartwatch? Well, if you can't tell by the picture, it looks like any other watch. It's got analog hands on it, but the smartwatch, so rather than having a screen, the smartwatch features are kind of under the hood, hence the hybrid aspect. So anyway, You'll see more of what I mean later, but anyway, you can see it's got, even though it doesn't have a screen on it, it's still got things like fitness tracking, ability to look at notifications, and this is showing that it automatically adjusts the time for different time zones. So like if you're traveling, yeah, it syncs up. Even though it's got analog hands, it's always synced to your phone, so always a perfectly accurate time, which is cool. Fossil Q. This is the Q Grant. There's many different varieties. This is the Grant version, but there's many different varieties. There's feminine versions, masculine versions, and then different varieties of each. So if you don't like this version, don't worry. There are many more. You also got music playback here. Really long battery life, which I'll get to that. That's one of my favorite things about this watch. And I think this is showing the ability to locate your phone, which is also kind of a cool feature. There's the Fossil Q logo again. And nothing really on the bottom to show off. Anyway, so let's get it open. Here's the watch itself, which we'll come back to as always. Okay, in this bottom part we have a quick start guide. Let's take a quick look at that. Let's talk about the app for both iPhone and Android. And yeah, if you haven't been able to tell already, this is actually a re-unboxing. I've actually owned this for about a week now. So I just figured I'd give a little re-unboxing / review. So anyway, it's kind of hard to read on camera, but it's just your basic quick start guide. You can also get this online. And then you have your warranty information. I believe it's got a 2-year limited warranty. And finally, we have, and this actually is new, I haven't opened this part yet, is the tool that you can use to open the back of it, because one of the really appealing parts of this watch, and the reason I decided to go for a hybrid smartwatch as opposed to a regular one, is that this thing, since it doesn't have a screen on it, this thing has a 6-month battery life, and it's powered via a coin cell battery as opposed to a rechargeable one. So it's pretty awesome. You just use this little tool that's included, just pull the back off like you would any other watch, and you can replace the battery that way. And then I was also told by Fossil that they will replace the battery for you for the life of the device. So that's kind of cool if you want to, have the waterproofing still be guaranteed, then you can have them do it instead. So anyway, now let's look at the watch itself. This is what they call luggage leather. I really like the color of the band here. So let's take a look at it. So you can see, obviously, it's backwards there. As you can see here, like I said, analog hands, which is pretty awesome. And it's always you don't have to have it constantly connected to your phone to keep time, which is kind of nice, but there is no manual setting of the time, so when you do set it up initially, it will set the time for you based on your phone's time, and then you can, in theory, leave it unconnected from your phone for the entire 6 months, or however long the battery lasts, and it will continue to keep time like any other watch. However, whenever you do sync it to your phone, it'll correct the time if it has to, for, like daylight saving, or if you go to a different time zone or something. So that's what it was advertising on the box. So yep, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus. It's not the best lighting in here. There we go, that's better. Yep, so you can see regular analog hands. I like the Roman numerals there. Right here it shows your step count. if you can set that in the app, and this will just give you a 0 to 100% of it. I just woke up actually about an hour ago, so it's not going to show me I'm not going to have many steps, of course, but I have it set to 10,000 steps a day, which back when I had a Fitbit, that was also my goal. On the side here, I'll show that in a minute. On the back here is the back I was telling you about. I believe it's water resistant to like 50 meters or something like that. So basically it's not like you wouldn't want to swim in this, but if it rains or it gets splashed on, it's not a big deal. So anyway, you can see it's got these 3 buttons here. Even the crown here is not actually a crown, it's just a button. And you can set them in the app, and I'll show the app in a minute, but you can set them to do different things. Like I have this one here set to stopwatch. Let me demonstrate that. See? It'll move the hands to the drive, and see that's how it handles not having a screen, as it does different things with the hands. So in this case it set it to the 12 o'clock to start the timer, so let me push it again. You can see it vibrated there. It does have a vibration motor as well, so when you get notifications and stuff, it will vibrate on your arm. And you can also set alarms as well. So anyway, that's the stopwatch. You can stop it there, hold down the reset. There we go. And then it'll go back to the regular time. I have the middle one here set to show the date. So this will point to the date, which is around the edge. See, it's the 28th. So that's really handy to have. And then finally, and this was also on the box, I have this one set to ring your phone. Even if your phone's on vibrate, it will ring it. If it's within the Bluetooth range, which I think is around 100 meters. So that's pretty cool. Let me demonstrate that. Yep, so that's a pretty nice feature to have, if you drop it under the couch or something and you can't find it. So anyway, I guess that's all I can show with the actual watch. Let me demonstrate some more things you can do with the app. Hold on just one second. I got my cell phone out here, so let's show off the Fossil Q app. So you can see these are the 3 buttons are set to at the moment, as I mentioned, stopwatch, date, and ring phone. Now let me show you here, you can set them to different functions. Like you can have it show your estimate commute time, goal tracking, which I'm not really, I guess that's just a more advanced version of the small wheel I showed already. Mode toggle, I think, can do pretty much everything. Music control, volume up and down. I guess if you're like driving or you have it in your pocket and you want to change the song real quick. Notifications, which this will the watch will vibrate when you get a notification. And it's cool the way it handles that. I actually don't have it set up personally, but the way to do it is like you could set 1 through 12 to different functions. Like you can have 1 be your mom, 2 be Facebook, 3 be email, etc. Whenever you get a notification, it will point to whatever notification you're getting. So like in this case, it would be email would be 2. And that way you know what, since there's no screen on it, that way you know what just happened. And it will vibrate, of course. But what the notification feature does is it will, if you miss the notification, if you're busy when it goes off and you want to see what it was, you can set that and that'll show you it'll show you what the last notification was. Take a photo, which doesn't work for me. I think it's because I'm using a third-party camera app. It doesn't seem to want to work, but basically what that is if you're trying to take like a group photo and you don't want to set a timer or something, you can use that to take the picture. Second time zone, which I guess if you've got family in like Europe or something and you want to know what time it is over there, but you don't remember the conversion off the top of your head, you can set that and it will tell you what time it is in that time zone. Notifications I mentioned. Now I personally haven't set this up yet just because, I don't know, for me personally, I don't really like the idea of my watch vibrating all day. That's kind of what my phone is for, so I'm not a fan of that personally, but I know I'm probably in the minority. I know a lot of people that's really convenient to be able to just have it vibrate on your wrist as opposed to having to pull out your phone all the time. So if you're into that kind of thing, then there you go. You can set 1 through 12. Finally, if you go to stats, that's your steps, which of course I mentioned I just woke up. You give your distance and calories, estimated calories burned. Give you a little graph there, and then it also it can track your sleep. I don't like sleeping with my watch on personally, but if you do, then it will give you like restless, that kind of thing. Okay, if you go up here to the device itself, you can see Grant. Of course, it's got mostly full battery because I just got this a week ago. Here you can set things like you can set alarms, which I haven't done yet. But I do plan on using this at some point. I do like the idea of having an alarm set. That's kind of cool. Find device, which this does not have GPS in it, but the watch doesn't, that is. But what you can do is you can set, it uses Bluetooth to, as long as you're within the, again, I think it was a 100-meter radius, this will tell you if you're close to it or not. I remember when I had my Fitbit, I had to download a separate app to be able to do that. So the fact that you can do it natively is pretty awesome. Calibration, what that'll do, I'm going to show you on here, is it will move your hands back to 12, and if the accuracy is off a little bit, you can adjust that there. I already have that set to what I want. Vibration strength, just of course adjust the vibration of it. So, let me see here if there's anything else I can show off. One thing, this is kind of random, but you may have noticed there was no second hand, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they would exclude that, but no big deal. Instead, you notice this minute hand, if it will focus, I don't know why it's not focusing today. Come on, focus. My camera does have a manual focus, by the way, but it won't. You have to adjust it ahead of time. You can't adjust it on the fly. So this hammer is going on 7 years now. Almost 7 years. I may need to replace it at some point. But anyway, it's not going to focus, but you can tell there's no second hand. However, the minute hand will visibly tick every 25 seconds. So if you're like me and you're OCD about setting other clocks in the house to be perfect time, then there you go, you can use that. Well guys, that's about all I can think to say about it. So now would I recommend it to you guys? If you're like me and you want something that looks nice, it looks like a dressy watch, but at the same time it happens to have some smartwatch features sprinkled on top, then I would definitely go for this. I forgot to mention it's about $155, and I think the metal band versions cost more, but it's around that. And yeah, I mean, the fact that it's got a 6-month battery life that's not rechargeable, not having to be recharged, I think that's, for me at least, that was the kicker alone. So I would definitely recommend it if you're like me. But of course, if you're looking for something more full-fledged, maybe something Android Wear based, where you got all the apps and stuff, then I would probably go for something else. I know Fossil in particular does make regular Android Wear smartwatches. And then of course there's other smartwatches out there as well. So if you're looking for something more full-fledged, you might want to go for something else. But if you're like me and you want something that's a little more simple, then I would highly recommend this. I've been very impressed. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Please follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Bye.